The Other Side of the Door is directed by Johannes Roberts and it stars Sarah Wayne Callies and is a horror film that I saw one trailer for recently and I thought, oh, that looks okay. And then all of a sudden this past week it just came out. Like out of nowhere, this movie just decided to come out, so I feel like the studio didn't exactly have much faith in it, because when a studio does that, they just release a film without much marketing. They're just like, here, get this thing out of here, because we don't have much faith in it, because we don't think it's very good. And they are right. This movie is not very good in any sort of way. And it's kind of disappointing because the trailer there that I saw, it didn't look amazing or anything, but I thought, oh wow, that looks like pretty good movie. And I thought it would come out later in the summer, so I thought it'd be a little bit better of a movie. Unfortunately, it is not. It came out this past weekend, and it is just a really messy movie. The story is basically this family, American family, they live in India, and they have a son and a daughter, and obviously the two parents, and a tragedy happens where the son dies, and now the mother is all broken up about it, and the family is trying to deal with it. And so the mother's nanny, the helper, some Indian lady, she says, oh, I could help you see your son again. And so she sends her into this woods, into this creepy, crazy place, and then she says, don't open the door, but you can talk to your son, and then blah, blah, blah. And then obviously she opens the door, and then we have crazy horror movie cliches coming at us. The movie is just so sloppy and so unwell put together, and it's just so over the top that it's unenjoyable, because it has legitimately some pretty scary imagery in there. There was some really scary stuff that happens just with like the native people that are in the woods there, and then there were some pretty effective jump scares. And for the beginning of the movie, I thought, oh, this isn't too bad. You know, it's not blowing me away or anything, but I'm enjoying this. And then once he goes into the woods and comes back, the movie just goes from ridiculous to more ridiculous to more ridiculous. And then by the end of the movie, it is completely just off the rails, insane. Like, what is possibly happening right now? Nothing makes sense. The movie, things happen that make no sense. The father's in there, very, very into it in the beginning, like very a part of the family and all that, and then all of a sudden he's just away, and then he comes back and is just clueless, and like there's obviously crazy things happening and he just doesn't notice, and there's so much insanity happens, and none of it makes sense, and it loses you as an audience member because you're getting a little bit scared, a little bit creeped out, but the unlogicalness of all of it tears it down. The movie really is just dumb. It's a dumb, scary movie, and it uses a lot of jump scares. So it was effective in the beginning because it had a little bit of the creepy atmosphere with the jump scares, but towards the end it was just jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, and it became unscary, and it became so repetitive that you knew what was going to happen, and you weren't scared of it anymore. You're like, this is what's going to happen now. Yep, it happened. There it is. it just doesn't work by the end of the movie. The acting overall was a little bit over the top. I liked the main actress. She was okay. She was pretty effective in some of the more flashback scenes with her losing her son and her emotion. She was alright. I liked the dad in it for the first half. Towards the second half, he became just such a dumb character. I hated him, but towards the first half I liked his character. The acting was overall okay. The directing, this director has a very he loves doing a shot that just goes like this, the whole movie like this. I'm telling you, half the movie it's either starts with a scene or it ends up with a scene that the camera just goes like this. It doesn't ever just start with a scene like this and then like let it evolve. It just starts like this. He moves the camera from this way to this way, and it's so distracting. It's something that after you see a lot of movies, you start noticing directors doing things like that, and this director's obsessed with moving the camera so that he follows the characters around like this. Just sit down and watch them. I don't know. It was really distracting. It had a cool feel to it. It looked all right for some of the forest scenes. It had some cool cinematography there. But yeah, it's a movie that's overall just very uneventful, pretty boring, pretty unscary towards the end because it's so repetitive. It had me in the beginning. I was like, wow, I'm somewhat liking this, but then it became so ridiculous that it really, really is a movie that I ended up not enjoying in any sort of way. I'm gonna have to go 1.5 out of I already forgot the name of the movie. 1.5 or The Other Side of the Door. I will remember it by next week. It's a pretty bad movie. Don't recommend it. You've never even heard of it because it just came out all of a sudden. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, you can subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.